This episode is brought to you by Squarespace. Stay tuned to the end of the video to find out how you can get 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Well, what have we here? A costume evolution, huh? Ooh, I'm really scared. So this is the Oogie Boogie everyone's been talking about. Everybody loves a Disney Dan laugh, it's guaranteed. Unless you have a heart of cold stone and you're miserable in your everyday life, in which case you don't love it, it's your kryptonite, and you tell me in the comments all the time. But it doesn't affect me, baby! Oogie Boogie. Well, you know, here's something interesting. Tim Burton says directly that he doesn't think that Oogie Boogie is actually a villain. Instead, he's just like the worst neighbor you've ever had. And I might have to tend to agree, because he's like, you know, the embodiment of nightmares. He's the shadow on the moon at night. It's like reverse good guy rules in Halloween Town, you understand? He's just playing the role. Technically, what did he do wrong, right? Well, I think it's kind of heavily implied in the subtext of his henchmen Lock, Stock, and Barrel that they go into the mortal world and like kidnap mortals for Oogie to torture in his casino chamber. So I think that there are subtle nuances that he might be the embodiment of all evil, but Jack kidnaps Sandy Claus first, so like who's the bad guy here? Nightmare Before Christmas, in a strange way, is a lot like Liam Neeson's Taken, in which Oogie Boogie gets Sandy Claus, and Jack Skellington's like, I'll be having none of this.
I will find you, and I will
scare you right out of your pants.
The character of Oogie Boogie, per Tim Burton, was inspired by Cab Calloway and all of his old cartoons, like the Betty Boop ones, Old Man on the Mountain. In fact, some of Oogie Boogie's lines are taken directly from this classic short. Quite literally taking the line, I'm gonna do the best I can, from the 1933 short.
What you gonna do now?
Gonna do the best I can.
And of course, as you all know, he's voiced by the iconic Ken Page. What a great voice. Oogie is the best voice, doesn't he?
What are you going to do? I'm going to do the best I can.
Whoa! The sound of rolling dice to me is music in the air.
The Haunted Mansion overlay was a mega hit with Disneyland guests the minute it opened in 2001. So 2 years later, in 2003, Disney decided to celebrate the 10th anniversary of the original film by holding a major Oogie Boogie takeover of the mansion. A brand new costume was designed for Oogie Boogie for a marketing campaign that was honestly phenomenal. Check out this commercial, it's so cool. The character existing in the mansion just works so well, it makes me sad it doesn't happen more. Now notice how the Oogie Boogie is emoting in this commercial. It's not because the costume is articulated, not yet at least. This is some 90s talking dog special effects that just CGI warp the video. Like, you know how like the E-Trade baby talked? Same thing. This costume is stunning. The texture of the burlap combined with the really stellar paint job brings this costume alive. It makes it shine, or rather I should say glow, literally glow. The top of the head is this static mold that has the burlap texture applied to it, but then Oogie has this big burlap beard that moves around as the character moves and bounces around. And he's got these long arms and legs that are like fun and pointy. Honestly, I love this character design. Now, when the Oogie Boogie takeover happened, there was a special party at Disneyland in 2003 that was hosted by Ken Page himself, the voice of Oogie Boogie, and featured a dozen or so Broadway musical numbers sung by various residents of Halloween Town. I'm serious. There's only one video of it that I can find, and it's a little shaky, but I swear to you, it is worth the watch for the sheer insanity of the brilliant costumes. Where are these costumes now? Why aren't we, this is so sorely missed from the parks, these kind of events. Oh my gosh, the costumes in this are amazing. We had Dr. Finkelstein, he literally sings If I Only Had a Brain, and then he opens up his head and scratches his brain. What? You know, we got like the Easter Bunny with like that like big zombie with a butcher knife in his head. Even the mayor of Halloween Town, like the clown that can tear his face off. There's costumes for almost every character from the movie. They're beautiful. Even an early precursor to the Jack Skellington costume. At the end of the concert, the Oogie Boogie costume was revealed for the first time in real life before all the guests were funneled into a Oogie Boogie takeover Haunted Mansion holiday. Up to this point in the Haunted Mansion overlay from 2001 2002, there was no Oogie Boogie where the hitchhiking ghosts are now at the entrance of the crypt. Instead, Lock, Stock, and Barrel kind of had like a little montage, a tableau there at the end, but that was quickly gotten rid of for the 2003 Oogie Boogie takeover. The 10-step Oogie Boogie scavenger hunt was really amazing, and honestly, it makes me sad that Disney isn't doing this in like every ride seasonally. It's so much fun. The ride was packed full of Oogie Boogie Easter eggs that laid a trail from the start of the house in the pet cemetery with an Oogie Boogie shrub and snaked its way through the entire ride, ending at a giant new animatronic of the Mean Green Man himself. The only one of these 10 Oogie Boogie scavenger hunt items to remain is the Oogie Boogie symbol toy in the attic scene. I don't know, there's only like 1 or 2 good videos of the ride through in 2003. Do any of you guys have photos of all these Oogie Boogie Easter eggs? They were hidden throughout the entire mansion. They're really cool. Right as you got on the ride, you were like given this fun map that contained an entire list of clues and puzzles to where all the Oogie Boogie references were hidden. So if you could figure them out and pay attention, you could find all 10. It was honestly so cool. Why aren't we doing this with every ride? And then at the end of the ride, there was this animatronic, which was heavily rumored to be the Big Al animatronic, just repurposed into Oogie Boogie. And while I have no evidence to support that, I will continue the rumor by saying that's true. In 2013, the Villains Unleashed event at MGM Studios was awesome, and Oogie Boogie made a pretty big splash in the limited nighttime event, alongside 13 other spooky villains at, maybe it was Hollywood Studios by now. I can't keep them straight, Kenny. This was the first time Disney World got to see Oogie Boogie in 2013, and the costume really honestly was kind of hidden for about a decade. But from here on out, the character's use just exploded. Villains became super marketable, and spooky merch was just great at selling. Just everyone was buying spooky merch, and from here on out, we ushered in a season of the villain. I love the videos of the excitement of the guests who get to take photos with them at the villain event. When you get to see this costume in person, it is so much fun. It's big, it's terrifying, but you also want to hug it. He's just bugs inside. He's just a bunch of bugs.
5 bugs!
But here's one of my favorite Oogie Boogie facts is that originally one of the producers, he wanted to have Dr. Finkelstein hiding inside the costume, torturing Jack for stealing Sally away from him, but everyone's like, that's a terrible idea, and they didn't do it. It's like a weird Wizard of Oz thing, but with bugs. And you know, bleh. The next year in 2014, Oogie returned to the Villains Unleashed party, but he got his own show, loaded specifically with spooky, weird carnival acts. Like, this show is wild. We definitely don't have this stuff anymore in the parks. You know, like people shooting arrows at each other and throwing knives at one another. Well, let's bring this back. I think we should bring this back. And Oogie was featured in a parade at Disney's 24-hour Rock Your Disney Side party. Let's bring back 24-hour parties too, full of Oogie Boogies. Let's just bring back all the early 2010s when parks were good. Could you imagine how many times I could have ridden the People Mover in 24 hours? I could have changed the world. So in 2015, Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party got a little bit of a facelift in terms of its castle show with the brand new Hocus Pocus Villain Spelltacular, which of course, as all premium paid castle show events must require, was full of articulated costume characters. And we got the birth of the articulated Oogie Boogie. Oh my gosh, it looks so freaking cool. Look at this thing. It works so well. And because it practically glows in the dark like stars on a bedroom ceiling at night, this thing is visible from like the back of the hub. Didn't matter where you watch the show from, Oogie Boogie sold. It was, oh my gosh, I love this costume so much. Oogie Boogie is always green in the theme parks. In the movies, he's portrayed as like this dark grayish brown burlap sack, but in the parks, he's usually lit by purple or blue light so that his costume looks like it glows, and that's kind of the gimmick that he has. He's always this neon green kind of nighttime villain event, and we never see him in the daytime brown burlap. Boy, remember in 2017 in Disneyland where everything got real spooky, you know, and they introduced like an Oogie Boogie annual pass holder exclusive popcorn bucket that glowed in the dark, and everyone was like, what? And wanted one, but no one could have one because not everyone had annual passes. Everyone remember those popcorn buckets? Man, Oogie's now been like a ton of other things. He's been like a weird sipper. His head's been turned into a popcorn bucket. We've got lots of Oogie premium merch, but it all started with this glow in the dark bucket in 2017. And now, years later, you can just go to Home Depot and buy an inflatable Oogie Boogie for your front yard. Isn't that wild? 2 years after this popcorn bucket debuted, all kinds of spookiness got kicked up over at Disney's California Adventure when Oogie Boogie took over for a nighttime special ticketed event called the Oogie Boogie Bash, where there had all kinds of cool things like a pretty legit trick-or-treat trail. Why don't we have trick-or-treat trails at Disney World? It's so stupid. Disneyland's party is so much better. Disney World just has a better parade. But otherwise, Disneyland's, it's all put together very nicely. I went to the Oogie Boogie Bash recently, dressed as Dreamfinder on vacation with my pal Figment, and I got to see the Oogie Boogie costume up close, and they're using the articulated Oogie Boogie in the trick-or-treat, like, gambling den that he has over in the, like the old Hollywood section of Disney California Adventure. The costume is just so cool. And the whole event is so cool. You get to walk around and talk to the characters. You get to, like, hang out. Of course, I would be remiss to talk about Oogie Boogie and not bring up one of my favorite patrons, Lucas, who collects bootleg mascot costumes. Lucas has this beautiful Oogie Boogie costume that shows off Boogie in daylight in a brown burlap look instead of that glow-in-the-dark Disney park look. Lucas's costume is actually really cool because I'm so used to seeing the glow-in-the-dark one that it's nice to see an Oogie Boogie walk around in his normal burlap texture. He's spookier. He's almost cool when he's glowing in the dark, but this costume is like as eerie and spooky like Oogie Boogie should be. Oh my God, his mom.
All right, so what's this guy's name? Oogie Boogie? Oogie Boogie. Give me some Oogie Boogie there, buddy. Oogie Boogie. Ooh. Ooh.
Lucas, I love your mother so much. Let's have her record all of your costume videos. Why am I even doing this when your mother could be at this desk providing excellent commentary on all the costumes out there? Ooh, he's got a good waddle when he walks away. I just got back from Disneyland, and I gotta say, some of those bathrooms look pretty good out there. At Disneyland, there's a bathroom near Alice that has playing card doors. Have you ever seen such a thing? These are the important details that I'm taking note of over at DISP.com, a website that I can bring to you thanks to the powerful tools at Squarespace.com. Squarespace gives people a powerful and beautiful online platform from which to create your website. Connect with your audience and generate revenue through gated members-only content, manage your members, send email notifications, and leverage audience insights all on one easy-to-use platform. Create a community on your Squarespace website with a fully integrated commenting system that supports threaded comments, replies, and likes. Use their powerful blogging tools to categorize, share, and schedule your posts too. I'm honestly trying to think, did I pee at Disneyland? I don't know if I did. I don't know if I did, bro, because I had Figment on the entire No, I took him off about halfway through. Extend Squarespace's already powerful e-commerce capabilities with Squarespace extensions. These new third-party tools help you manage inventory, promote products, streamline bookkeeping, reconcile and file sales, tax, and ship items across the globe. Display posts from your social profiles on your website. Automatically push website content to your favorite social media channels so your followers can share it too. Go to squarespace.com for a free trial, and when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/DisneyDan to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. So there it was, the Oogie Boogie man himself. This was a quick one, but had a lot of fun history in it. So let me know in the comments below which one of these Oogie Boogies was your favorite, or over on social media like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Patreon, TikTok, Twitch, and of course our vlog, Please Stop Vlogging, where you can find Kenny and I on all kinds of awesome adventures. Thanks for watching, guys, and as always, you rock! I did a spooky laugh at the end, you see. It was spooky.